Dog got the mighty, let me tell the news. My head got wet in midnight dew. Great God, I've been down on my bended knees, talking to a man from Galilee. My God spoke and he sounded so sweet. I thought I heard the shuffle of angels' feet. He put one hand upon my head. Great God, the mighty, let me tell you what he said. Go tell that lonesome liar, go tell that midnight rider, tell the gambling, rambling, backslider, tell the God Almighty gonna cut him down.
Digital image. And you know what it was? It was, Harold Lloyd on the clock. Everybody thinks that's either Buster Keaton or Chaplin, but it's actually a guy named Harold Lloyd, who they call the third genius. And in his time, he actually sold more tickets than Keaton and Chaplin combined. Amazing. I've just studied him for years because he's so funny to me. He has such a dry deadpan. But I saw an image of him on a screen, on a computer screen, and something just jolted in me. I said, well, I can do that, I can splice images together that way electronically. And that's kind of when it hit me. And that's when I just started making, I got a little camera, started making short films, and that launched my 14 years of not making a dime. and during that time, I was still doing magic and making a pretty good living, Like I'd be in Germany working for six months, 10 months.
I do great God, I've been down on my bended knees, talking to a man from Galilee. My God spoke and he sounded so sweet.
I think I was the second youngest guy to get into the Magic Castle, which is a place in Hollywood that also houses the Academy of Magical Arts. And I apprenticed there until I was 21, and then toured the world and did all kinds of fun stuff with my magic act. And one of the acts I had was like this 12-minute silent piece where there was no speaking. So that was great because you could go to any country. You could go to Japan, you could go to South America, you could go to anywhere in the world and do this act. And the other fun part was you're usually on a bigger show with a whole bunch of acts. So how much fun is that? I mean, it's like you're on a big tour bus or you're on the plane or whatever, and it's all together as a big group. Kind of like here, a merry band of artists sashaying about. But yeah, I did that for a long, long time. And it was funny, near the end of that stint, I started doing all these acts that had like stories in them. Because what I really wanted to do was make movies, but it just seemed impossible. I remember being backstage once and going across the street to a bookstore and pulling a book off the shelf about filmmaking. This was while I was doing my magic act. And reading about the process and going, nope, thank you. It was just so complicated with all the film and the, splicing with tape. I don't even know how they did it. But I'm working on several projects at once. One is called, what's it called? It's called Madeleine. It's a true story of a half East Indian, half American girl who becomes a spy during World War II. And the cool thing about this story is that she was raised by this holy man. His name's Hazrat Inayat Khan, and he was actually father of Sufism here in the West. The first dude to bring the ideas of the Sufi order to here to the West. And I don't know what year it was, but he meets this woman named Aura Ray Baker. They fall madly in love. They go back to Paris, which is where his home was, this beautiful home called Fazil Manzil, right on the outskirts of Paris. He raises this beautiful half East Indian, half American daughter as like a pacifist. And then she becomes a spy during World War II. And they fly her back behind enemy lines. And for, I think it was 120 days, she was literally the only free voice between occupied France and the Allies in London. I mean, it's the best script in the world. It's like a page turner. So I can't wait to make that. Based on a true story. And like the biggest in the big of Hollywood have loved this script, and like it was almost made and then not made. And so now we have it in our hot little hands, and we just can't wait to make it.
Dog got the mighty, let me tell the news. My head got wet in midnight dew. Great God, I've been down on my bended knees, talking to a man from Galilee. My God spoke and he sounded so sweet. I thought I heard the shuffle of angels' feet. He put one hand upon my head. Great God the mighty, let me tell you what he said. Go tell that lonesome liar, go tell that midnight rider, tell the gambling, rambling, backslider, tell the God Almighty gonna cut him down. Run on for a long time, run on, ducking and dodging, run on you for a long time. Let me tell you, God Almighty gonna cut you down. You might throw your rock, hide your hand, work in the dark with your fellow man. Show us God made you rich and poor. You gonna reap
right